Okay, folks, just getting ready to do a live video. So today I'm going to be talking about the making of a psychic. So I'm doing it live, and once I've done this live, I'm going to download it and put it up pre-recorded. So if you miss it or you have to go do busy things, don't worry. This will be put on my page as as saved. So if you want to watch this later, you can see it on my page. Okay, so don't forget to hit follow if you are interested in some of these free little videos to help you on your path. Okay, so say hi first of all, folks. Before we start, could you just hit the hearts button so kind of get some people here, because obviously sharing this knowledge with you, it's important that other people might want to join us. So hit the heart buttons. I get used to say it. Tap the screen. Okay, likes, that's the hearts. And we'll go ahead. So just tap the screen. If you can hit share, if you can share or repost, it would really help me. I'm really grateful. So do that. So yeah. And we'll go into it. So lots. I think just wait till it gets to 1K. And then there'll be plenty of people to join in, and we can have a nice community event. So thank you for Leonie. Hi, it's good to see you. Thank you for roses. Really kind. Okay, so nearly there. Shark's over there eating his crisps, so he's happy. He's got his TV on down, so he's happy. Okay, so I've developed a video. Some things that I want to maybe we could talk about in some free value. I want to give you some free value, some witchy tips, psychic tips, sort of different topics that I can offer you that I'm hoping will help you in your own journey, be it as a woman, because I work for women, encouraging you to use your intuition, encouraging you to have growth, to have great mindset, and overcome obstacles, challenges, trauma, and become who you're meant to be, not who you're conditioned to be. And that's exactly what I teach. It's what I've done and still doing. And it's about coming together as women, sort of empowerment and guidance. And I really want to help you in that way. And it's hopefully I will relate to you and you'll relate to me. It might be for you, it might not be for you. And that's okay. We just find out. So, nearly there, up to 2K. So once we hit 2K, it says go pin there. So I'm going to pin it. It said to go pin. Okay. So today's live is a free sort of mini kind of teaching, sort of helping you sort of going forward with your psychic skills, if you have any psychic skills, or if you don't, understanding how you can turn negative impacts from possibly your childhood or your past, of any kind of abuse, trauma, things like that, and make it positive. Because if you can't, healing's all about not just about getting over it. Sometimes you can't get over it. Sometimes that doesn't happen. So what we do is we take the thing that we need healing with and we turn it into positive. So, it's also easy for some people who are not educated to say, get over it. Well, they need to get over it and they need to get an education, because it's not like that, is it? Those of you who have been through things in life and need healing, it's not a matter of getting over it. It doesn't happen. The brain absorbs trauma. Oh, look at that. Chloe's just sent me oh, Chloe, you cute. I like crowns, especially pink ones, all sparkly. The brain absorbs things and it changes and it creates different pathways that sometimes, I'm not a doctor, by the way, I'm not a doctor, but I've had a lot of experience myself. This is why I do what I do in witchcraft and mediumship and psychic tarot. It can't reverse back. So what do? We need to work with that. This is about healing, and we need to change things so that we can turn a negative to positive. And that's what we can do in witchcraft, in mediumship. You don't have to be a witch. You just need to want to change your life, even if that is step by step. Oh, lovely hearts, Chloe. You're totally right, says Laura. Because the brain doesn't just get over it. There's no such thing. You've got to take that. Thank you for joining my fan club thing. And that trauma, that setback, and you need to turn it into something positive. And that might not happen overnight. It might happen quickly. It might not. Thank you, join my fan club. But you just gotta keep going forward. So let's go into today's teaching. I do go on a bit. Just before I do, okay, this teaching is called The Making of a Psychic. So you may relate to this. And if you do, shout out. Really shout out. If you are not following me, follow now. If you want to get these free teachings and value and tag along with me on this journey, hit follow, okay? If you can, lots of likes, I really appreciate that. It supports me. Share, repost, really helps. Just hit the little arrow that goes that way to the right, and then that'll give you, you can share to your friends, family. To repost, when you hit the arrow, a little yellow circle turns up over there for anyone who doesn't know, and then you just, it's got like little arrows in it, you just tap that and it reposts a new feed. Okay, so share a little bit about myself, and hopefully you'll be able to relate to that and help yourself. So Frenchie says, I'm a silent watcher. Is that okay? Oh, absolutely. You don't have to come out. Do you know what, Frenchie? All I want is you to get something out of my free teachings. That is enough for me, okay? That's what I'm here for as a women's psychic, and empowerment and guidance, okay? So, but if you want to join in, it's fun, and I love that. Okay, so let's have a look. Right, okay, so the making of a psychic. So how does someone become psychic? Now, there are lots and lots of ways that someone becomes psychic. It's not just one way, okay? It's normally a combination of ways. In my experience as a professional psychic and a witch, it was all in my life, it was a combination of things. Now, I can't sit here and tell you every single thing right now, because I'll be on here all day, and next week we'll still be talking. So I'm going to break that down. In the making of a psychic, we're going to, you know, every so often when spirit guides me, I'm going to put it out there, you know, bit by bit, chapter by chapter, and we can learn together. Okay, so this is what I'm going to talk about. Oh, just to mention, here, look, read this post. Thank you, Chloe. What you'll learn in Rose's Coven. Now, if you like these free teachings, you don't have to, but if you want to, and you want to go deeper into witchcraft, mediumship, psychic, tarot, sort of moon magic, fairy, elemental, what's your thing? We cover everything. Will ya? Okay? Join my coven. All you have to do to join, have a look at the post there. You literally just need to subscribe. Hit the star button below, subscribe, you're in. Every full moon, there are events live, okay? And you'll be able to see it in the post there in the subscription. There's a lot. I can't remember what time I discussed Charlotte. My brain's gone. My memory again. Good job I got Charlotte to help me. I did say a time I was going to do Rose's Coven. It was full moon.
A full moon?
Yeah, it was the evening, wasn't it? It'd be an evening.
I think it was 8 till 10.
8 to 10, okay? Depending
Full
on
moon.
how, you know. Oh, goodness me, go away, silly creature. We had another silly body. So, there you go. I've just renounced me, whoever she's called. Oh, silly body. A busybody. Okay, we blocked. Right, okay, so, if you want to join that, subscribe, because that's one of the parts of the free Rose's Coven. So anyway, going on, the making of a psychic. Okay, so I will answer your questions in a minute. Just like kind of start off, and then we'll answer questions. So don't forget to hit the likes and join in. So first thing is how we grow up, okay? What were your experiences growing up? Were they good? Were they bad? Were they in between? You know, there's normally a scale, isn't there? And, you know, have a think about that. Growing up with your parents or your guardians who looked after you, was it a good childhood, or was it bad as it gets? Was it traumatic? You know, growing up really affects how you grow up. Will affect a lot to do with intuition. Okay, and let me explain how that affects you. Okay, so for example, growing up for me was challenging. I grew up in an extreme volatile environment. Okay, it was like a war zone. I literally, from day one, had to survive. My parents were extremely abusive. Okay, now surviving in that environment as a child, that war zone, I had to very, very, very quickly, from day, 2-3 years old, learn how to keep safe and learn how to keep out of danger. So what does the human mind, the brain, do? And this is about psychic gifts, right? It will look for a way to keep yourself safe, keep you alive, stop you from going insane. So one way that I was very lucky, that my brain, and being a child, okay, explaining your childhood here, Frenchie, so listen in, this is for you. What happened was my brain, and this may have happened to you, Frenchie, it chose to use that muscle that we all have. Do you know what that is? Does anybody know what that is? Intuition. It's a muscle. We all have it. Now, you may have used it as a child, you may have not. Now, for people who've been in those volatile surroundings, will find that some children, not all children, lucky if they do, really, it's a gift. Find that muscle. The brain does it. It just happens. And it pumps the muscle. The intuition starts working to keep that child safe, to help that child sense danger. So that intuition, the muscle, we've all got it, works overload. And in my case, it happened every day, in, out, hour to hour, minute to minute, literally right up till I left home properly, I think 18, 19. So at 18, 19 years old, 18, 19 years of my intuition got flex, 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 flex. You imagine how strong that intuition was when I left my parents' home at 18, which would have been the legal age at that time to leave home. Kev says, hang on. Okay, Kev, I'm not answering questions at the moment. I'm doing some teachings. Check out my events on my page for live readings. Sets boundaries in your mind. Yeah. But Frenchie, what about the intuition? It's like, as a child, you don't know about boundaries. You're taught boundaries by your children. By your parents, sorry. By your parents. So you might not know boundaries. In my case, I didn't have boundaries, unfortunately. You got in trouble even if you were being good, and you got in trouble if you were being naughty. So there was no boundaries. So my intuition had to work really hard. So if you relate to that as a child, your intuition working really hard as a child to keep yourself safe. So relying on intuition, very, very small. Okay, this may have happened to you. Okay. It helped me find safety. And in that safety, it helped me understand the energy, the vibes. And energy and vibes would help me understand which situations were dangerous. It helped me understand the body language even, the certain atmosphere. And that really helped me. That intuition, as I pumped as a child in a dangerous home, in a dangerous environment, helped keep me safe. So my brain chose that part of the brain, which we've all got, and it flexed and flexed and flexed constantly. This, I did not know, would actually be part of the reason I would become a professional psychic when I become older. It was already there. It was the foundation was being set from about 2 years old. It's day dot. So does anybody relate to that? Did you find growing up you had to use your intuition? Or maybe it might not have been your parents, it could have been someone outside the home. It could have even been school. So maybe you were bullied and you had to use this intuition. And you wouldn't have like known you were doing it. It was your brain doing it. Because it's how we keep safe. Right now, you know, for some, even now, you would be doing it. If you were in a dangerous environment, you were out in the jungle, your intuition, okay, would be going tick, 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 tick. The stronger intuition, the better, okay? So that, relying on intuition to find safety and understanding that environment saved me, okay? It saved me. So that is one way, okay, that I evolved my psychic gift. Just one. Okay? And you might relate to that. And obviously there's other things people go on to do, but just in my situation. So if you feel you had that kind of scenario around that area, you may find that your intuition's really strong. Well, that explains, it's one reason out of many, why a psychic, and I don't mean that for every psychic. This is just me personal, share my story and how I become a psychic. There's lots of other things and reasons for every psychic. And every psychic will tell you a different story. Of course, we're not all made the same. This is one way that my psychic gift, or part of the jigsaw of being psychic, evolved. Okay, it was survival. The brain had to evolve. And the biggest way we survive, and we always have, as humans, is intuition. It's our built-in navigator to keep us safe. So for someone who hasn't been through that and hasn't needed to use that intuition, that's a good thing. That's a wonderful thing, because there's much other ways as well. Other people, would have become psychic. I don't know other people's stories, but there are other ways. And so I don't know other psychic stories, so I can't comment on that. I'd love to connect with someone who has other story. But this is one thing. But basically what I'm saying is, out of a bad, horrendous situation, became a positive thing later. It led to my psychic gifts. It's one part of it. It led to that foundation of becoming a psychic. Yeah? And so if you share the similar or can relate to that, maybe you should start thinking about your intuition. Is it strong? Have you had to use it in, battle, surviving, keeping out of danger as a child, or even other situations that, are personal to you that aren't the same, but they're kind of in the same scenario? Okay? Have you had that? And then start thinking to yourself, if you've had that, muscle must be really big. Are you using it? Are you using it? Because that's part of there to help you. It hasn't been given freely. You didn't just wake up with a silver spoon in your mouth and get given this psychic gift. It's been given to you for a reason, and it starts. Of course, spirit come into this because you're working with spirit, and that's another thing, another part of the jigsaw puzzle of how a psychic becomes a psychic. This is more the logic way. There will be supernatural ways as well, which I will talk about in another video, but this is a logic way, because we have logic and we have supernatural, and they go together, and often they kind of trigger each other and they work together. That's how it works. Okay, where's there's supernatural, you'll find science. Where's there's science, you can find supernatural. They often do blend together. Okay, so emphasizing these challenges can lead to unique strengths and abilities. And I think some of us need to, as women, we need to tap into that intuition. Okay, we need to realize how strong we are. It could be that you've been through domestic violence. It could be you've been through bullying. It doesn't just have to be the same as my story. It could be environments like that you've had to use this muscle called intuition, and you haven't actually thought about it. The brain's done it, because that's what the brain does. It just does it. Okay? And that's led you to feel energy. And when we feel energy, we feel vibrations. Yeah? And when we do that, we can work out what somebody's character's like. Are they safe? Are they icky? Are they kind? Or, all sorts of things. And that's a first step. There's a lot more to it. We're just talking about one thing. To feeling energies. So does anybody relate that? Do you look at somebody and you feel, you kind of know, maybe you look at somebody and you think, oh, they're really kind, I can feel their energy. Or you look at somebody and you think, oh, there's something about them I don't like, I feel a bit nervous. It's your intuition. Somewhere along the line, your intuition muscle has had to flex. The more it flexes, okay, the bigger it gets. It's a bit like putting the intuition in a gym. It's exhausting. Trust me, it's exhausting and it's draining if you have to use your intuition day in, day out without a break, because it's a muscle. Imagine your arm. Imagine, moving your arm constantly, 24 hours a day. That muscle is going to ache and hurt. It'd be really big and strong, but it'll hurt. So that's the same with our intuition. When we have to use it day in, day out, it will make you feel drained. And that's why us psychics have to have time out. We have to ground. And I will talk about grounding techniques in time out. Because what we get is called psychic burnout. And that's when your intuition, which is that muscle, is like, ugh. It starts to hurt. It makes your body hurt. Your body is your vessel, your soul's inside. It starts to hurt. So that can often, as a child, using that intuition, can often go on to lead to sort of PTSD or DID, things like that. And they're not, that's which we often, like an overload of intuition, and where the person's burnt out. But the good thing is that can lead to one of the psychic skills. Under the umbrella of psychic, it's an umbrella. One of them is intuition. Okay, one of them is intuition. And no matter where you've come from, no matter what happened to you, if you've had to use your intuition, don't look at it in a bad way. Turn that trauma into something positive. That's healing. Healing isn't just turning up for a therapy session and go blah, 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 and out you go, forget it. Healing is when you take something negative that you can't just get over it. It doesn't work like that. It's really uneducated to say that. It's where you turn it around and make it into something positive. You use something in there that survival technique, that coping strategy, and use it into something positive. So intuition is a great example of that. And that's what it's happened, what I did. Well, I didn't know I did it, just happened. But you don't necessarily, it can either just happen or you choose to. It doesn't really make no difference. Okay, so I hope that's helped you today. So just recapping that, okay? Making of a psychic, growing up in a challenging and often violent environment that felt like a war zone. Relying on intuition to stay safe and understanding that environment. Seeing how that intuitive sense eventually leads to a psychic gift, okay? So that can lead to, okay, and I emphasize that, to strengths and abilities. So I hope that's helped you. So if you're doing shadow work at the moment, maybe that's something you could work with. It's a great way to work with shadow work. So I hope that's helped anybody. If you've missed it, hi Zara, as you can see. If you missed, I've got a bit of ice in there. I had a Belgian bun that Charlotte bought me. So I'm refueling myself. If that's helped you, I will download this teaching and I will put it, the free teaching, pop it on my page. So you want to go back into it and use it for your shadow work, your healing. You can do that and work with it. Yeah, I like Belgian buns too, Chloe. You're a sub, that's good. So, Chloe, because you're a sub, you get to get this free. This is Rose's Coven. And this is where every full moon, all subs come in on the full moon, 8 o'clock to 10 o'clock. And we have discussions. We have, we could be talking about the Sabbats. We could be talking some moon magic. We could be doing shadow work like today. We could be talking about spells, charm bags, talismans, working with the Fae, the elementals. We could be honouring the lunar cycle. You know, it changes every week. But to be in Rose's Coven, basically on the full moon, on here, on my page, live, you just join. You just join. It'd be live. It'll be subscription only though. So if you want to be in it, basically you won't be able to join unless you're a subscriber. You'd get a notification that I'm on, and you'll be able to join in. You'll be able to ask questions and watch, and we'll do lots of witchy things together. So if you want to join Rose's Coven, Chloe says, oh, it sounds exciting, I can't wait, nice little community. Yeah, I mean, I've only just opened it. So, you know, we might start off being sub-live, what we call like closed, where people can see us talking and see the event, but they can't ask questions, they can't interact. And then when it gets a bit bigger, we'll go sub-private, where we have our own private sub-coven here, and you'd get your notification. So if you want to join Rose's Coven, you just subscribe. It is one of the perks. There's loads of perks to being a sub. You just tap the link below and press the star and subscribe. You also get discounted readings and things on live and things when you are a subscriber. So being a subscriber, this was one of the perks you get out of many. So I hope you've enjoyed that. I hope it will help you. Have we got any questions? If we haven't, that's fine. If you've popped a question, I've been yapping away because I do tend to yap. Pop down them now. I'll have a look. I know a lot of people are asking for readings. If you want a reading, I did loads of readings this morning. It was really, really active and lovely people. Go onto the top of my bio, see the live events, okay? And then just press register. You won't miss it. You've missed it. If you want a private reading, you'll see the link in my bio. You can book a private reading with me. They're done by audio link. You get an audio, reading. But I'm not talking about readings right now. But you can see that in my bio. So that's, everybody's asking for readings. Okay, so I'm not doing readings right now. I'm doing some free teachings to help you. Witchery and psychic. Well, this one is psychic. The teachings you were speaking about, says Chloe, are they useful, both beginners and experienced? Yes. In the Coven, I cover everything and everybody. So I will be there to support and help beginners. So if they haven't got, they're at the beginning, they're kind of confused which path to take, I'll be there to support them, answer their questions, and make sure that they leave having something to do if they want to. You don't have to. But, it's nice to be held accountable, because then I remember Lisa Johnson. I love Lisa Johnson. I actually... and I'm in her strategy club. She's amazing. She often talks about being accountable, and it's true. If you're held accountable to something, you do it. If you've got to go back and say you've done it, you feel good, and it helps you as a beginner witch. Go and do that thing, then come back to the Coven net, say, oh, I've done it. It might be something very small, and then you get feedback, you talk about it, and it really helps you get into and have meaning to what you're doing in your witchcraft. And that's how we progress. We progress like that in everything in life, being accountable. But I find that really helps as well when you're accountable. And that's what you've got to go out there, do something, come back. You don't have to, but you can, even if it's just something small, but being accountable really helps. So that's one way it works. We've experienced, that's wonderful. We can have experienced people coming on, sharing their stories with each other, being part of the community, bringing along their skills as well, which is wonderful to be a circle as witches, and sharing those experiences as a experienced witch for those who are experienced. It's really, it's very uplifting. It makes you feel not so alone, and you feel like your tribe, your vibe is a wonderful community. So yes, Chloe, the answer to your question. Any more before I go? Because I've got to download this and put it up. I'm meant to be meeting my daughter Kitty today. Okay, so any more questions before we go? I must phone my other daughter too. She's probably wondering where I've been. Okay. Okay, what would the protection magic include? Chloe, you come across as a very giggly person. I can feel your energy. What would the protection magic include? I'm curious about that. Okay, so with protection magic, that would be in Rose's Coven. So I would, of course, from a beginner sense, I'd be just talking about basic spells. So, you're not going to go right into a ritual, are you? And that would be really stupid. I mean, I've got a client at the moment who I'm teaching, and online, he's from USA. I'm teaching him ceremonial magic. So you won't do that. You'd start with very simple candle magic, very basic, very simple. We'd be talking about crystals and how they help and the different ones, or we could nudge it up a little bit. We could be talking about sort of intuition, but we've already talked about intuition. I've done that free. That can be used in protection though, but we would just be doing something very easy to do. We could be talking about talismans, amulets, how to make them correctly, the correct way to use them, the ways we use them. Thank you for joining my fan club. Things like that, and breaking the myths and doing them correctly. And obviously all witches, there's your way, you adapt it to your way, but there's some things that would make sense to do a certain way, if that makes sense. And I give you my opinions why it would help to do it a certain way, and you don't have to do it. You pick and choose what you like to do. And obviously, we for more experience, it would be me teaching ceremonial magic, which I'm teaching a client at the moment. And Chloe, that would be definitely that would be more heavier stuff, which I wouldn't be doing in Rose's Coven until we're private, because I don't want to be teaching on TikTok public that for subscribers, when that's really, really quite powerful witchcraft. I would be teaching that private with my subscribers who I know are ready for that. And obviously, because it's a stepping stone. Witchcraft's a stepping stone. We start, you can start wherever you want, but when it comes to witchcraft, spells and magic, you really need to start off down the bottom, because you can't just go in on top. It wouldn't be safe. It wouldn't be safe. You need to start off with the little light things. We've all started off there. We've all had to, and it's fun. And I think it's just like going to school. You can't go into uni before you've been into nursery. It's a stepping stone. Nursery, school, college, uni. It's the same with witchcraft. We start off down on the little things, and then we go to the next step. And those little things help you for the bigger things, because they all tie in together. And if you just went into the big things, one, it would be pretty crazy and dangerous, but also you wouldn't have a clue, because you haven't started off on these little things. Okay? I know the person I'm teaching at the moment, ceremonial magic. Oh, goodness. I have to break everything down right to the bottom first. Thank you, Chloe, for the show. And then move up step by step with him. Because if I just went into ceremonial magic with him that he wants to learn, he'd be lost. So it's like a step by step. And enjoy. I think the most important thing, Chloe, is to enjoy what you do. The postman's come in. Sherlock. Sorry. That was... Oh, he's not knocking the door. Oh, that's good. I thought he was going to knock the door then. I was going to wake Sherlock. Sherlock's asleep again. He's always asleep. Snoring in the chair. Sherlock is my darling gentleman friend. He's always snoring in the chair. He's a pensioner. He's beautiful. He's my beautiful gentleman friend. So, any more questions before I go on? That makes sense. Protection is important. Yes, you're right. Very, very. I think really it's the first thing a lot of people like to learn. It doesn't have to be the first thing you learn. I mean, there's lots of other things you can learn, first of all, if you think about it. Offerings to elementals, nature spirits, things like that, kinship. I think a lot of people just go right into protection. I sometimes think the bit where we coming kin with spirits is more, should be before protection, because you can't work with spirit unless you're in kin. It's a bit like if you went and knocked on somebody's door and you said, it's a personal spirit, you might not think like this is fine, this is my way of working. Every witch is different, so take what you like out of this, leave what you don't. If you went and knocked on someone's door and you said, oh, can you help me mow the lawn at the back, because I can't do it, it's a bit hard, mowing the lawn. They look at you and think you cheeky toad, don't they? Even though it'd be a kind thing, you might get someone really kind, you're like, oh, of course, I'll do that for you. But most people would be like, you cheeky toad, I don't even know you. It'd be like strange. So why would you think that you ask spirit to help you with something and they don't even know you? Yeah? No, that's where coming in kin with, and that's where I often teach offerings, honouring spirit with offerings and coming in kin fast. So another example would be getting to know spirits is not just that, it's they don't expect spirit, okay, to do something for nothing. All right, it's like you wouldn't, you might do if you're really kind, but if someone's like, can you do this for me? Can you clean my house? You'd be like, well, yeah, you'll have to give me like 20 quid or 30 quid though to clean your house, especially if it's a tip, You wouldn't go to someone's house you didn't know and clean the house for nothing, would you? It'd be a bit bizarre. You'd want to get paid, would you not? Or you'd want them to do something for you, like, I don't know, clear out your shed. Do you know what I mean? It's about balance. It's give and take. In witchcraft, it's all about balance. So why would you expect spirit to do something for you? So it's about balance, and that's why the offerings teaching that I do, it's all about coming in kin with spirit. And that's another thing about becoming, working with spirits. Don't expect them to just do something for nothing. The thing is, spirit, depending on what spirits you work with, the spirit guides I work with are all very lovely. And there's different kinds, and that's your choice. But there's still that thing that you need to give. You can't use spirit. If you use spirit, it's just not going to work. You're just going to hit a block. This won't do nothing for you. It's to read a Christmas card, not a tarot card. You read tarot cards, right? They're basically cards. They're no different than a piece of card in a manufacturer's blah, 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 cut out, printed, yeah? No, the real power is spirit, between you, the vessel, and spirit. But you need to be in kin with spirit for that to work. You can't just expect them to help you. And that's where offerings come in. Offering and honouring. In kin, I call it, the kinship. It's really, really easy. The hardest thing is that once I've taught people years ago when I used to teach Spiritcraft. I agree, says Chloe. Yeah, the hardest part I used to find with clients when I used to teach witchcraft years ago, and I had my career back then, was a lot of them, they could do the things, the honour and ritual and all that, but they didn't have the heart. They didn't mean it. They didn't really want to come in kin. They didn't want to commit. And I used to say, you sure you want to do this? Because it's a bit like if you had a friend and they just like hung out for you a bit, made you a cup of teas and chat with you because they wanted you to go in, pick something up for them and paint your house or something. And once that was done, they didn't want to know you. That's called using. You never use spirits. You end up on your backside, okay? Spirits do come back and they will knock you on your backside if you abuse them. And rightly so. They know their worth. So it's about balance and respect. And if you can't learn that just in your normal day-to-day life, you wouldn't do witchcraft or psychic mediumship. You need balance. You need respect. Okay, so I hope that helps. Honey, I'm not doing readings right now. If you go to the top of my page, honey, you'll see my link. You'll see live events. If you register for one of the live events, I finished the readings this morning. I was on live doing loads of readings. You can go there, tap into my live events, and you'll be able to meet me on my live events then. I come on in the morning. If you're looking for private reading, link in bio. But you missed me. You've missed me by an hour. I was doing readings then. I do readings, live readings, which I do every morning. You see my live reading events. But I also do teachings, free teachings, okay, on here. So it's a mixture of things. It's not just one thing. You get everything. Lots of free value there. Okay, so I hope that's helped. I'm going to download this video now. And then I'm going to pop it up on my page later. So if you do want to watch this video, The Making of a Psychic, okay, and it will help you with inspiration and growth in your own journey. I will pop that up later once I've downloaded it. So I hope you've enjoyed this today. Don't forget to hit follow. If you're not following, hit that follow now. Make sure you're following. If you want to get the best out of this, you need to make sure you're following. If you want free readings, if you want free teachings and all that, you need to be hitting follow, okay? And also go onto my page, maybe if you get time. I don't know how to do it. I don't know if anybody can, when you go on the page and you hit the bell, so you get all notifications. I know how to do it if I go on someone's page, but I don't know how to explain it. But yeah, hopefully you'll be able to work that out if you don't already know. Tech can be difficult, and if no one tells you how to do something, how do we know how to do it? I've had a lady the other day, she didn't know how to send a gift. And I say, everybody assumes everybody knows. They don't. You didn't know until someone told you. That was the first time. Everybody's got a first time. So I always try to explain the tech. So Chloe says, have a nice day. Love watching. You're a kind person and calm to watch. Oh, that's so kind, Chloe. You're such a lovely, giggly person. Okay, so I'll catch you soon and speak to you later. Okay, folks, don't forget to follow and look out for the next event. Okay, bye.